The greatest bullshit story ever told. Think about it. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky.
Hey, what's up, y'all? We are back. This is my beautiful wife,
Steph.
This your boy Jay. I did a video with George Carlin, and I got a lot of requests after I did that video to do this one called "Religion is Bleep Stuff." So we're going to get into this. My wife, I don't know if she knows anything about George Carlin. I don't know a lot about him. I know he's he was a stand-up comedian, and he gave his point of view on different things in the world and how he felt about them, and that was mainly his stand-up. So I said, this one I'm going to do with my wife. So we're going to get ready to do this. Religion is bull blank. But anyway, before we start, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, share. Check us out on all the social medias that I'll post down below in the description. You know, we're on everything: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. But anyway, let's get into this George Carlin, Religion is Bleep Stuff.
Just the name alone, I don't know how I'm feeling.
Let's see.
But in the bullshit department, a businessman can't hold a candle to a clergyman. Because I got to tell you the truth, folks. I got to tell you the truth. When it comes to bullshit, big time, major league bullshit, you have to stand in awe of the all-time champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. No contest. No contest. Religion easily has the greatest bullshit story ever told. Think about it. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish, where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time. But he loves you. He loves you. He loves you, and he needs money. He always needs money. He's all powerful, all perfect, all knowing, and all wise. Somehow, just can't handle money. Religion takes in billions of dollars. They pay no taxes, and they always need a little more. Now, you talk about a good bullshit story. Holy shit. But, thank you very much. But I want you to know something. This is sincere. I want you to know, when it comes to believing in God, I really tried. I really tried. I tried to believe that there is a God who created each of us in his own image and likeness, loves us very much, and keeps a close eye on things. I really tried to believe that, but I gotta tell you, the longer you live, the more you look around, the more you realize something is fucked up. Something is wrong here. War, disease, death, destruction, hunger, filth, poverty, torture, crime, corruption, and the ice-capades. Something is definitely wrong. This is not good work. If this is the best God can do, I am not impressed. Results like these do not belong on the resume of a supreme being. This is the kind of shit you'd expect from an office temp with a bad attitude. And just between you and me, in any decently run universe, this guy would have been out on his all-powerful ass a long time ago. And by the way, I say this guy because I firmly believe, looking at these results, that if there is a God, it has to be a man. No woman could or would ever fuck things up like this. If there is a God, if there is, I think most reasonable people might agree that he's at least incompetent and maybe, just maybe, doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit, which I admire in a person and which would explain a lot of these bad results. So rather than be just another mindless religious robot, mindlessly and aimlessly and blindly believing that all of this is in the hands of some spooky, incompetent father figure who doesn't give a shit, I decided to look around for something else to worship, something I could really count on. And immediately, I thought of the sun. Happened like that. Overnight, I became a sun worshiper. Well, not overnight. You can't see the sun at night. But first thing the next morning, I became a sun worshiper. Several reasons. First of all, I can see the sun, okay? Yeah. Unlike some other gods I could mention, I can actually see the sun. I'm big on that. If I can see something, I don't know, kind of helps the credibility along, you know? So every day I can see the sun as it gives me everything I need: heat, light, food, flowers in the park, reflections on the lake, an occasional skin cancer, but hey, at least there are no crucifixions, and we're not setting people on fire simply because they don't agree with us. Sun worship is fairly simple. There's no mystery, no miracles, no pageantry, no one asks for money, there are no songs to learn, and we don't have a special building where we all gather once a week to compare clothing. And the best thing about the sun, it never tells me I'm unworthy. Doesn't tell me I'm a bad person who needs to be saved. Hadn't said an unkind word. Treats me fine. So I worship the sun. But I don't pray to the sun. Know why? I wouldn't presume on our friendship. It's not polite. I've often thought people treat God rather rudely, don't you? Asking trillions and trillions of prayers every day, asking and pleading and begging for favors. Do this, give me that, I need a new car, I want a better job. And most of this praying takes place on Sunday, his day off. It's not nice, and it's no way to treat a friend. But people do pray, and they pray for a lot of different things. You know, your sister needs an operation on her crotch. Your brother was arrested for defecating in a mall. But most of all, you'd really like to fuck that hot little redhead down at the convenience store. You know, the one with the eye patch and the club foot, huh? Can you pray for that? I think you'd have to. And I say, fine, pray for anything you want. Pray for anything. But what about the divine plan? Remember that? The divine plan. Long time ago, God made a divine plan. Gave it a lot of thought, decided it was a good plan, put it into practice. And for billions and billions of years, the divine plan has been doing just fine. Now you come along and pray for something. Well, suppose the thing you want isn't in God's divine plan. What do you want him to do? Change his plan? Just for you? Doesn't it seem a little arrogant? It's a divine plan. What's the use of being God if every rundown schmuck with a $2 prayer book can come along and fuck up your plan? And here's something else, another problem you might have. Suppose your prayers aren't answered. What do you say? Well, it's God's will. Thy will be done. Fine, but if it's God's will and he's going to do what he wants to anyway, why the fuck bother praying in the first place? Seems like a big waste of time to me. Couldn't you just skip the praying part and go right to his will? It's all very confusing. So to get around a lot of this, I decided to worship the sun. But, as I said, I don't pray to the sun. You know who I pray to? Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci. Two reasons. First of all, I think he's a good actor, okay? To me, that counts. Second, he looks like a guy who can get things done. Joe Pesci doesn't fuck around. Doesn't fuck around. In fact, Joe Pesci came through on a couple of things that God was having trouble with. For years, I asked God to do something about my noisy neighbor with the barking dog. Joe Pesci straightened that cocksucker out with one visit. It's amazing what you can accomplish with a simple baseball bat. So I've been praying to Joe for about a year now. And I noticed something. I noticed that all the prayers I used to offer to God and all the prayers I now offer to Joe Pesci are being answered at about the same 50% rate. Half the time I get what I want, half the time I don't. Same as God, 50-50. Same as the four-leaf clover and the horseshoe, the wishing well and the rabbit's foot. Same as the mojo man. Same as the voodoo lady who tells you your fortune by squeezing the goat's testicles. It's all the same, 50-50. So just pick your superstition, sit back, make a wish, and enjoy yourself. And for those of you who look to the Bible for moral lessons and literary qualities, I might suggest a couple of other stories for you. You might want to look at The Three Little Pigs. That's a good one. Has a nice, happy ending. I'm sure you'll like that. Then there's Little Red Riding Hood, although it does have that X-rated part where the big bad wolf actually eats the grandmother, which I didn't care for, by the way. And finally, I've often always drawn a great deal of moral comfort from Humpty Dumpty. The part I like the best, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That's because there is no Humpty Dumpty and there is no God. None, not one, no God, never was. In fact, I'm gonna put it this way. If there is a God, may he strike this audience dead. See, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Everybody's okay. All right? Tell you what. I'll raise the stakes. I'll raise the stakes a little bit. If there is a God, may he strike me dead. See? Nothing happened. Oh, wait. Got a little cramp in my leg. And my balls hurt. Plus, I'm blind. Oh, now I'm okay again. Must have been Joe Pesci, huh? God bless Joe Pesci. Thank you all very much. Joe bless you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Wow. What you think, baby? That was a little strong.
It was. I mean, I'm guessing he's an atheist. Comment down below. Are you an atheist? Do you believe that there's a higher power? And if you are an atheist, how do you think we got here? Like, I'm just...
You got some people that said that we evolved from the sea with fish or whatever. Then we was the dinosaurs and all that. And then you got the Bible. So it's...
And then they said that the Bible
beliefs
was just made up by man to keep slaves and everybody else in check.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm just curious with the atheists, because I believe in God. So
I believe in God too.
So I'm just curious. But I have a bunch of questions for him.
Yeah, everybody has questions about religion.
I have a whole bunch of questions for him. It's not even like about religion. It's like he said.
About God.
It's about
how we got here.
How not even about so much how we got here. Like certain things, like
why certain things happen.
Like why certain things happen. Why do 2-year-olds get cancer and die? They did nothing. They're innocent babies. Just like things like that. And I know I'm not supposed to question him. And it's just, I have questions, and that's just being human. However, if you are an atheist, my question to you is, how do you think we got here? And how do you think a woman can have a baby, a whole human can grow inside of me? Okay, how did that whole design plan come about? And I kind of agree and have with what he's saying, with the questions that I have.
With the questions, you kind of understand what he's
his
saying.
Concept
with the questions that you have.
And the questions that I have, because me being a human, I'm not supposed to know what God knows. I'm not supposed to understand what he understands. I'm not on his level.
Yeah.
However, it's like he said, do you really believe that it's one person that's just up there just looking down at everybody and saying, you're bad, you're bad?
Yeah, because sometimes I wonder, when we do the Bible, I'm a Christian, I believe in God, but I wonder with the universe out there and this whole vast universe, sometimes I'm like, they say UFOs and people say, the things people believe, but I'm like, if it is a God, did he create other life forms? Is there other beings and life forms out there? We can't just be the only ones around. Just on Earth, humans and whatever creatures run around the Earth, from fish to bugs to animals or whatever, on this one little ball. We got all these other balls of clay out there all around the universe. There's no other life out there, and if it is, did God create that too? So, like, I have a lot of questions, and they talk about the dinosaurs and all of these massive beasts that used to walk around. I don't know if that's imaginary. People made that up.
Well,
if
I
so,
believe that's
how
not...
did the Bible and then the dinosaur thing coincide with each other back then? Like, was the dinosaurs walking around when Noah was around? Like, I'm confused. That confuses me.
Well, I think the dinosaurs and stuff like that was proven because the archaeologists, so I know dinosaurs, like, existed. Like, I know for sure, like he said, you can look at the sun and it's objective versus subject. Like, I could see the sun. I could touch, it's tangible. They had the dinosaur bones. That's something tangible. It's something that we know. It's something you can prove. However, we can't prove that God exists, and then it's another thing, like he said, if it's all in God's will, why are we praying? At the end of the day, it's going to be whatever he say it's going to be. So why are we wasting our time praying? Because it doesn't change anything, is what he's basically saying. And then when he's saying, if God wants money, God wants money. Now, that's the one thing I have to disagree with. God isn't asking for the money. It's these churches you're going to that's asking for the money.
Yeah, these preachers, that always
that's to keep the church
send
going.
The thing around
right.
and put a buck or two in there to pay for the church.
Right.
To pay
it's
for
to pay for the
whatever
church.
the preacher,
right.
It's
to pay for the church. It's to pay for the lights in the church. The church got to have lights.
Yeah.
It's to pay for it's your tithes to keep the church going. However, if you can believe in God and not go to church, okay, you can believe in God, and some people believe God is not a actual man, woman, or a person. It's a like just a soul, a being.
God's a spirit.
A spirit, right? It's not an actual person that's up there that looks like you and me.
Yeah.
Some people believe that God is just within everyone.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, do you believe when you die that you go to heaven or hell? Do you believe in heaven and hell? Or do you believe that when you die,
that's just it?
That's just it. You just dead, you go to sleep and that's it. Or do you believe you die? Some people believe you die and you instantly are judged and you go to heaven or hell.
And some people believe you
wait for judgment day. And it's just like you're sleeping and you could have been deceased 200 years ago, but you're waiting for the return of God, and then everyone who's supposed to inherit the earth will come back, right, and come back, and everyone else just won't.
They believe like when you go to sleep and then you kind of got a consciousness, like you're asleep, and it's like when you die, some of these people that probably die, far as I'm thinking, maybe in their mind, their body's not here, but they're like in a state of like a dream state, and they don't understand what's going on, like what's going on here. And then when they wake up for Judgment Day, to them, it's going to seem like they was only asleep for a few minutes, but they might have been dead for 20 years. And then they got to stand before judgment. That's what I think it is.
Because think of all the people that died way before us, and Judgment Day ain't even happened yet. Mm-hmm. So you be asleep more than 20 years. But what I'm saying too is, they say sleep is the cousin of death. When you're asleep, you don't remember anything. No. You don't. You're asleep. It feels good. You go to sleep, and that's it. You wake up. So they're saying sleep is the closest thing that you will get to death.
Yeah.
So but I enjoyed him. He gave me a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Gave me a lot to think about. But I do believe that there's a higher power, like just all of us. It's no way, like, how did we get this? It's just too many questions. Comment down below. Let me know what your stance on religion is. Let me know if you're an atheist. You don't have to let me, just do you believe in a higher power or do you believe in God? If you don't, I am very interested in your comment on how did we get here? Like, how did we get? And then if there is a God, like, how he get here? I always wanted that one.
Oh, hey.
Like, if he, like, who made him? He came from somewhere too, right?
He said God was always here, which always trips me out. Cause I'm like, like nobody say, okay, here go God, this is you, bam. And if somebody did that, well, who made that person?
Right,
Said, bam.
like you can just keep going on and on and on and on.
It's
like,
amazing.
Yeah, the question
It's amazing.
It's just like if like I said, if it's, you know, people say, all right, how did he get here then?
Yeah.
Where'd he come from?
I like it. I want to learn. I want to learn. But anyway,
We can go on and on about this. Comment down below. I can go on and on. I don't want to do that. We love you guys.
love you guys.
We are out.